Hey, business building warrior, welcome to Silent Sales Machine Radio. Thanks for joining me. It's just you and me hanging out today. If no one said it yet, Merry Christmas. Hope your holiday season's going great. It's our favorite time of the year around here, and I hope it is yours as well. Hope you're enjoying the season. Hey, I got a topic today that comes up frequently now, and I think we might be referencing this podcast episode from time to time when the question comes up. And it's this division of the replens philosophy into two camps, or reselling on Amazon. In our community, there's a lot of people selling on Amazon using the reseller strategies that we teach here, filling the underserved and understocked shelves in Amazon's massive hundreds of warehouses across the United States. That's the model, selling the everyday, boring, easily sourced items. Okay, now that explains all of it, but there's two camps in reselling. It's almost like the way it used to be done from the beginning of the time when we created the concept in our community up until about a year ago. And then this new strategy that's emerging. I'm thinking of it myself as like replens 2.0, or a complete reset of the replens concept. I'm going to talk through the two. It's not that we love one or prefer the other, or think you should throw one out and only do one. They're both pretty equivalent in my mind still at this point. But all the new people coming in, we're emphasizing the new way of doing it simply because we're seeing the results of the people who go down this road, the lifestyle change that it has for them, how robust the business is. It takes so many of the stress points out of having a replens business, being a reseller on Amazon. That's the new way. So let me break down very briefly the old way and the new way so you can have a point of context. Old doesn't mean outdated or irrelevant. New doesn't mean superior in every circumstance. Just there's two ways to do it: the old way and the new way. What's the old way? The old way is the way we've been teaching it, like I said, since we invented the concept of replens in this community. And that involves finding good products. Anytime you hear someone talking about looking for good ASINs, looking for good discounts, shopping for sales, waiting for a good deal, hey, I found 4 good ASINs today. Anytime you hear anyone using those kinds of verbiage, you know that they're doing it the old way. They're looking for good ASINs. They're looking for stuff they can sell right now that's going to make them a profit. And they celebrate when they find a good ASIN, and they're a little disappointed if they go a few days without finding another good ASIN. That's the old way. We have people with 7-figure businesses doing it that way at scale, but it's a constant search for a winning ASIN, constant search for new products, because products are constantly dying. They're coming through and they die. And what you'll try to do as well with that model is capitalize as long as you can and go as hard as you can on every ASIN that's a winner, to the point where sometimes you do end up with more inventory than you probably should have had. So that's the first one. And I'll dive more into all those points in a moment. What's the new one? Well, the new way involves 2 steps. There's only 2 steps here. Find a bunch of ASINs. Where you find them, we don't care. Are they good right now? I don't care. Am I gated right now? I don't care. Just viable ASINs that you know where to go to buy if you need to buy them someday. Hundreds of them, thousands of them, tens of thousands. Just today, I got a text update from my partner, Jimmy Smith, and he's like, hey, we got this new VA thing rocking. We've had somebody found 3,000 ASINs already in the first few days. That's what I'm talking about. That's the new strategy, is go find a whole bunch of ASINs anywhere, everywhere, whatever tool you use, it doesn't matter. Whatever list you use, doesn't matter. Go find them anywhere, everywhere. You're not checking them one at a time to see if they're viable or good, or you should go buy them right now. No, you're just sticking them into 3P Mercury, which is step 2. Let 3P Mercury filter through all those ASINs and tell you which ones make the most sense right now. So it's a 2-step process. So the old way is a grind. It's a search for new ASINs constantly. Some days you're going to find some good ones. A lot of days you're not. The new way is to just dump all ASINs into the software. and let the software tell you what it makes the most sense to buy right now. And oh, by the way, 3P Mercury automates a whole lot of other things that used to be very painful, such as managing your inventory. Which ASINs are associated with this order that just came in, this box full of stuff. It's got 10 of this and 8 of that and 7 of this. Which ASINs do these belong to? It smooths all that out to the point where the creator of the software, Kang, the thing that got my attention, I mean, I stood up out of my chair. I remember when he told me, I'm like, you can't be serious. He said he had one person working in his warehouse managing $3 million worth of annual sales on Amazon. What? One person manages all that inventory? He said, well, sometimes two, so let's call it 1.5 people. That's incredible. I'd never heard of anything like that before. That's the heavy lifting that 3P Mercury does, among many other features. Okay, so let's reset. I've described the two. I'm going to go through methodically now and just kind of think out loud and brainstorm with you the difference between the two models, which one makes the most sense for you. One of them is much more of a short term, looking for fast wins. And the other one is more of a long term, looking for a long term, stable, as low maintenance as possible business. They're both great. I was on the line today with a coaching student who said, I'm kind of doing both, and I'm trying to decide how much time I should put into each. Which one should I focus on more? The old way or the new way? And I said, a little of both makes sense for you because of the situation you're in right now. He needs some fast wins. He would really like to be finding stuff he can buy for $5 and sell it for $20 and get in while it's hot and sell a few hundred of them and then move on to the next ASIN. That's great. Spend some time there. I'm not saying abandon that, but it's a completely different skill set of finding loads of ASINs, up to hundreds or even 1,000 ASINs per day, and dumping them into 3P Mercury. Maybe none of those ASINs are good today. Maybe none of the 1,000 ASINs you find the next day are good either. But on day 3, you do your scan, you add a few more hundred ASINs, and oh, look, there's 5 winning products. Some from the first time, some first load that you've added in, some are from a month ago or 6 months ago. It doesn't matter. This scraping tool, or I should say the filtering tool inside of 3P, has done the heavy lifting and told you which ASINs make the most sense for you to go buy today. So can you start to see emerging these two different mindsets? And it's important to know which mindset someone is coming from when they're talking about their business so you can enter into the conversation properly. For example, if someone says, oh, I just can't find anything profitable today. Well, that means they're on the first model. They're looking for something that they can go buy right now and sell, hopefully within the next few days, and make a profit right now. They're looking for a winning product. And they've got spreadsheets and lists all over the place from stuff that they looked at 6 or 8 months ago that didn't work out. And those are abandoned ASINs in most cases. Hey, pardon the interruption for just a moment, but I've got to thank our sponsor, Sellerboard. How do you know if you're making money online as a reseller? Seller Central will show you your revenue, but it doesn't capture all the details, the refunds, the shifting fees, changing supplier prices, overhead. Well, that's why a lot of smart sellers are using Sellerboard. silentjimdotcom/numbers is where you can go to check them out. It's the profit analytics software that's built to keep your numbers straight. Sellerboard reconciles every sale and expense in real time. And with FIFO accounting, first in, first out, that means your profit reports stay accurate even when your cost of goods change from batch to batch. It now works with Walmart as well, so you can see your margins across both platforms all in one place. Here's the game changer as well for resellers. Sellerboard's new reseller workflow scans products in the store with the mobile app instantly. You can check out your profit potential, add items to your buy list, build offers, print labels, manage inbound FBA shipments, all while Sellerboard keeps the profit tracking accurate at every step. For just $15 a month and 2 months free trial, go to Sellerboard's website here, silentjim.com/numbers. It's the only way to get the 2 months free, silentjim.com/numbers. There'll be a link in the show notes as well. Understand your numbers today with Sellerboard, the accurate profit analytics software. Let's get back to today's episode. And those are abandoned ASINs in most cases, unless they're being consistently revisited and looked at over and over again manually somehow. You don't know if you've got some winners in your old inventory. Some of the most exciting users of 3P Mercury right now that I'm seeing are people who have all kinds of old lists of ASINs that they just stopped monitoring a long time ago. Now, sure, some of them are brands that are outdated, some discontinued products in the mix, sure, all that. But once you filter through and clean that up and you're left with a list of stuff that, hey, if it makes sense to buy it, I can go buy it. And you've got 3P Mercury software scanning through that list, telling you every day which ones makes the most sense based on a good number of filters that you can turn on and customize. Well, now you've got a real powerful asset. And I would argue that one of the benefits of the new way, the 3P Mercury way of doing Amazon, is you're actually building an asset. You're building a business that could be handed to someone else. My favorite all-time podcast episode was with Kang, the creator of 3P Mercury. Go back and listen to episode 754, where he tells a very personal story that is incredibly motivating and encouraging, and at the same time tragic, that led him to this business. And one of the things he shares is after his family faced a tragedy together, they went to Europe. I think it was for 2 months. It was for 6 weeks, 2 months, something like that. And he only checked his phone a few times to check his stats on his Amazon business, and it was growing because he had two people back at home managing his $3 million business, one of them in the warehouse, one virtual assistant pouring ASINs into 3P Mercury. That's it. 3P Mercury did the rest. He'd built an asset. And the point I'm making is, had he decided to sell his business at that point, there would have been many eager buyers say, wait, you got two workers? Now, he happened to have his own warehouse. You don't have to. You can use a third-party warehouse to receive your inventory, inspect it, and label it for you. You're going to pay a little bit more for it. Some people decide they'd rather pay a lease. Some people decide they want to pay a prep center. It's up to you. These are money numbers decisions. This is math decisions here. They're both viable. Everyone who lives outside the United States, by the way, they have to use someone else's warehouse, a prep center. And we've got training coming, by the way, in 2026 on how to set up a small prep center in your garage, some extra space, pick up a client or two, a great income stream. But anyway, the point I'm making with Kang is he had built an asset. Even though he had a warehouse, he didn't have to go to his warehouse every day. It was turnkey. It was a list of tens of thousands of ASINs that software was looking through every day to find the winners, telling him, hey, here's the ones you should go buy. He ran out of money before he ran out of great inventory. He'd buy a few units of each one of them and send them off to Amazon. That's the new way. It's a far simpler way to describe the business. It's more turnkey. It's a sellable asset. It takes a smaller crew to run the business as you scale. The processes that you have to put on repeat is a much shorter list, but it is a longer ramp up to profitability because it takes time to find all those ASINs to learn how to do that at scale. Your instinct when you get started is to want to go after the old way, which is let's find sales. Let's find discounts. Let's get in the car. Let's go see what Walmart has in the clearance aisle today. That's the old way. Instead of looking for profitable products, which is the old way, now you're looking for ASINs anywhere you can find them, and the software tells you when to get in and out of the best looking ASINs on your list. So hopefully that helps you start to paint a clearer picture of the old way to do replens and the new way. Now, here's the thing. When you get into the Proven Amazon course, there's some foundational instruction that applies to both models. You've got to know the basics. You got to learn the basics of reading a Keepa chart through a replens lens, the way that we teach it, for example. You just have to. You've got to learn to be comfortable with the terminology. You got to get your account set up. You got to learn what it means to try to get ungated with different brands, on and on and on. That's what our training does. That's what the Proven Amazon course does, is it lays down that foundation for you. But after that, you can do one or both of the models that I've described today. You can decide if you've got a nice long runway to launch your business and you're not worried about trying to make as much money as you can next week. Well, okay, you've got a long runway. You can put in some time, effort, and energy to building your catalog of ASINs, getting a nice big list and letting the software tell you when it's finding winners. That's a slightly slower hockey stick buildup. However, if you need to start putting money in the bank as soon as possible, it still takes 6 weeks or so, 8 weeks to get your first inventory in, to start seeing some sales, to start getting some money back from Amazon. But still, you're going to have a more of a linear rise. It's going to be a kind of a shallow linear rise to profitability with that model. In both cases, slow and steady wins the race. In both cases, discipline is required. They have a lot in common. But the main difference, I'll repeat one last time before I wrap this up. The main difference is with one model, you're in a constant hunt for profitable products. With the other model, you're in a constant hunt for as many ASINs as you can get your hand on. If they're profitable or not, you don't care because the software is going to tell you when it's finding winners. That's the main difference between the two models. The second one of the advantages I haven't pointed out is you can do the inch deep, mile wide strategy with the second one. The risks are so much lower. You don't have to go maximize out every ASIN in your catalog. When you find a winner, you don't have to go scrape every shelf in town and grab them as fast as you can. That whole scramble, scurry mode, that whole get in while you can because you know it's going to crash soon. You don't have to think that way anymore. You just go a couple inches deep into every winner and knowing that if any of them get turned off or you get gated or there's a recall or you have to stop selling that ASIN for whatever reason, you're not bringing back 100 or 50 or even 20 units of anything. If you don't want to, you just have a few units sitting on the shelf of everything you sell. Time to buy more? Okay, got a lot of good ASINs today. I'll go buy a few more of whatever's working. The pace of life is far calmer, steadier. You can set your hours. You don't have to monitor everything like crazy. And just to give you a little sneak peek of what's coming with 3P Mercury in the future, where it gets even better, AI integration, artificial intelligence, machine learning, where it's going to look at your book of ASINs and make suggestions and recommendations for you every day, saying, hey, I think it's time for you to get rid of these units of this product, or here's a red alert. You need to take care of this today. Here's something that popped up with your account. You need to make a high priority. Other suggestions based on intelligent analysis of your entire book of ASINs and the messages Amazon is sending you. Just pretty incredible stuff coming down the road. If you want to get into 3P Mercury, the best way to do it is to go to 3pmercury.com/friends. That's the lowest price you're going to see. If you're on a tight budget, if you're just trying to find a way to make a few extra dollars, you don't have to jump all in and get all these tools. You can go with the old way of doing replens. We'd love to teach you that. For just $39 a month, get the proven Amazon course, learn the basics, learn how to find good ASINs, flip them, sell them, put a little money in the bank. Once you've got a viable business, a few $1,000s a month, showing some profit, hey, then you can start to scale up. Maybe get a coach and go further faster. Get into 3P Mercury at that point. But I hope you understand that what we're trying to do here is offer an opportunity for you, no matter where you're at in your margin, meaning the time you have. That's your time margin. The money you have, that's your financial margin. The relationships you have. If you're going through a really difficult time right now with a lot of tragedy, personal tragedy in your life, you don't have a lot of relational margin right now. It's hard for you to be creative, to be industrious, to stick with a task for hours. Those things just don't come easily right now. You're not in the season of life. Okay, well, you want to do replens the old way, if anything. You're in triage, possibly. We've had people say, hey, I'm sick. I'm only able to concentrate an hour a day and I'm barely able to focus. And like, can you help me start a business? It's like, that's a rough place to be to start a business. It requires intentional, focused effort over an extended period of time to build and grow a business. How much margin do you have? For some of us, it's just a matter of turning off Netflix, and we got plenty of time to do incredible things with our life. And you've got some money in the bank. Okay, let's go. What are you waiting on? This is your wake-up call. You're not getting any younger. Let's get a business rocking. But if you don't have the margin in your life right now, we've got some very low-end, expense-wise, high-quality content that'll step you through getting into doing replens the old way. It's going to be a much longer journey for you to get to the point of stability and serious income, but we can certainly help you with the time and the margin that you do have. Well, I think that's enough for now. Hopefully I've covered the bases. If you're ready to get started, here's some great advice. Call us. Hop on the phone with us. You can either text us or call us at the number I'm about to give you, or you can hop on our schedule a time that's good for you. We want to help you create a strategy that makes you go from where you are now to where you know you'd like to be and where you could be. Let's get that in place, completely free. We'll expose you to all kinds of great resources. We just want to get to know you, welcome you to the community, see what makes the most sense for you. If you want to hear hundreds of other people who have done that and then gone on to succeed through our coaching program or through our content or courses or even through our free material, all you have to do is scroll back in time on this podcast, and you're going to hear hundreds of those interviews with very real people doing incredible things. We'd love to make you our next success story. So give us a call. The way to do that is silentjim.com/book a call, all one word, or just go to silentjim.com, click on coaching, takes you to that same page. You'll see our phone number. You can text us, you can email us, or you can grab a spot on our calendar. I take some of those calls. We've got some great consultants on our team who help our clients build their brands and help people make decisions about the content in our community. We pay them very well just to help you make good decisions all day, every day. We're so proud of the content that we have to offer here that we've got people hired just for that role. And they would love to meet you and talk through your scenario. God bless you, business building warrior. Once again, Merry Christmas. Thanks for joining me. We will have more great episodes for you very soon. Hey, thanks for joining us today. I've got one last announcement. It's a thank you to our sponsor today, Sellerboard. You can find them at silentjimdotcom/numbers. Hey, seller, if you want to know your true profits, Sellerboard tracks every fee, refund, the shifting cost of goods, plus a full reseller workflow. Everything from scanning in store to shipping your FBA shipments. Pricing starts as little as $15. And if you use the link I gave you, you get 2 months of a free trial. Get started at silentjim.com/numbers. Thanks for listening today. We'll have another great episode for you very soon.